Your screen time report is asking the wrong question. Your phone tells you 5 hours and 12 minutes today. You read that like a symptom of a disease. I'm addicted, you tell yourself. I need a digital detox, you tell yourself. But that number is hiding the real problem. The problem isn't the phone. The problem is that your capacity to sit with nothing to do, while waiting, while bored, has eroded. In psychology, this is called distress tolerance. And over the last 15 years, this capacity has collapsed faster than phones themselves. People got bored before 2007, too. Waiting for the bus while food was cooking, standing in line while someone talked on the phone. Those moments of boredom were not empty time for your brain. In neuroscience, this is called the default mode network. This system, which activates when the brain isn't given an external task, organizes memory, solves problems, and reinforces your sense of identity. So boredom isn't the brain idling, it's the brain switching to a different job. Here's the catch. For that switch to happen, you need to stay uninterrupted, unstimulated for a certain amount of time. On average, that threshold is a few minutes. The phone steps in before you ever reach that threshold. Most phone apps run on a variable ratio reward system, just like slot machines. Sometimes there's a reward, sometimes not, and you never know when it's coming. This uncertainty triggers the dopamine system more powerfully than a fixed reward would. B.F. Skinner's reinforcement experiments in the 1950s demonstrated this with pigeons. The same principle is used in notification design today. But here's a critical distinction. The phone doesn't make you addicted. It becomes the path of least resistance the moment boredom hits. When you're bored, you have two options: tolerate the discomfort or eliminate it instantly. The phone offers the elimination option for free, instantly, everywhere. Over time, this becomes a reflex. The moment the boredom signal arrives, your hand reaches for your pocket without thinking. In a widely cited study published in 2014, participants were given two options: sit alone in an empty room for 15 minutes or receive a mild electric shock during that time if they wanted to. A significant portion of participants chose to inflict pain on themselves rather than sit with nothing to do. This study shows something important: pure nothingness. Being unstimulated is genuinely difficult for the human mind. It was difficult before the phone ever existed. The phone didn't create this difficulty. It provided an instant escape route from a difficulty that already existed. And every escape shrank that tolerance a little more. Tolerance works like a muscle. It shrinks when unused. Every time you cut boredom short, your capacity to carry it next time gets a little smaller. Most digital detox programs aim to limit screen time. App blocking, grayscale mode, turning off notifications. These aren't useless, but they miss something fundamental. Taking the phone out of your hand doesn't automatically increase your distress tolerance. The discomfort simply waits until it finds another escape route. In clinical literature, this is called symptom substitution. You block one avoidance behavior, and unless the underlying tolerance is actually trained, the behavior shifts into another form: food, a show, shopping, a news site instead of social media. The real point of intervention isn't which tool the escape uses, it's the escape itself. In behavioral therapy literature, building tolerance works through gradual exposure. Learning to carry boredom not in one long stretch, but in small, repeated doses. In practice, this means deliberately spending the small gaps that naturally occur in daily life, elevators, queues, red light, without your phone. This has three components. First, keep the duration short, 30 seconds, a minute. The goal isn't to endure, it's to notice the signal and not extinguish it immediately. Second, bodily awareness. Notice your breathing rate, the tension in your shoulders, the sensation in your stomach during that moment of boredom. Noticing it, rather than consuming it away without thinking, teaches you to recognize it. Third, repetition. Tolerance isn't a one-time decision, it's a repeated practice. Every time the brain goes through this signal, the threshold rises a little. Low distress tolerance doesn't just affect phone use. Creative thinking, deep focus, complex problem solving, all of these mature in the unstimulated, empty moments of the mind. It's not a coincidence that so many writers and scientists say, "My best idea came in the shower." The shower is a moment without a phone, without a task, a boring moment. And that's exactly why the mind switches to a different job there. Reducing screen time is a tool, not the goal. The real goal is reclaiming the capacity to sit with nothing to do. This report isn't asking you the right question. The right question is, today, with zero stimulation, how many minutes can you sit still? Blaming your phone is easy, because it's an external, concrete, tangible target. But the real work begins after you put the screen down. In that gap, in those few seconds, you can actually sit with nothing to do. Build your distress tolerance. The phone will find its own place after that.